Hi everyone, it's really good to see you all again. In case you don't already know who I am, this is me, Pam Welsby. I'm the founder and CEO of Fast Forward International, and today we're coming to you for the second of our Thrive, Not Just Survive little mini workshops from our very own learning centre here in Slovenia. So, our goal with these sessions is to help you to build up your toolbox of different tools and techniques that will help you in the challenges of the current situation we're facing with the coronavirus. Of course, those same tools are going to help you also in your life in general and your work. But right now, we'll apply them to the virus. So the emotional change curve, as we see here, was developed by Rosabeth Moss-Kanter, and along with the video here you'll find the link to more about Rosabeth's work if you would like to explore more deeply. What I'm going to do today is to give you a quick tour of this emotional curve, explaining how it works and how you can use it to get yourself to be able to better manage the changes that are happening right now, and also how you can help and support others also through this process. So here you see the emotional change curve, and emotion being the critical word, because this is from Rosabeth's work what shows us the way we as human beings emotionally respond to change. Now, it doesn't mean that we're all doing exactly the same thing, but it means the natural emotional process takes us through these 5 stages. And what you see is first arrows coming down, denial to emotional to resistance, which means here we are not in our best place. So we're trying to make sense of the situation in many different ways. And then it goes up towards acceptance and commitment, where we start to feel good again. Yeah. So the point of the process of managing ourselves through the change is how do we take ourselves with intention, consciously, through these stages to get to a better place quicker. So when I talk about managing the change we're experiencing now because of the coronavirus, that doesn't mean the change through the time from when we started it affecting us to when it's over. The point is to do it now. Yeah? How do we manage ourselves now so that we don't have to feel unpleasant throughout all this time, but we can more quickly get ourselves to the stage of accepting the situation and seeing benefits and opportunities from that. So that's what we're going to be speaking about. So let's start from the beginning. So if we look back on how some of us were reacting as the virus got closer to us, as we started to see what was happening in other parts of the world and what was coming closer to us. A first natural response, remember these are natural human emotions, is to deny it. So what we may have seen there in people around us, but may also have been doing in ourselves, is saying, what's going on? This is crazy. This can't be real. It's over-exaggerated. Clearly the newspapers are just dramatizing it more. Yeah? It's not really going to be like this. It's not going to happen here. So we deny it. Yeah? It's something we don't like, we're not comfortable with, and we try to kind of push it away. So some of you may think, oh, that's me, I'm doing that. Or some of you might think, oh, that's my partner, or that's my friend, or that's another family member. You may still have people around you who are somehow in this phase, and that's okay, because this is only a first response. Yeah? Now, as we start to realize that actually it is coming, and it's coming closer and closer, and it's really happening, for example, we are now staying home, yeah? Then we start to move into this second stage, which is about emotion. And here we have internally, we've triggered our fight-flight response. So this is stressful. we're feeling afraid, anxious, even panicky. We could be depressed, miserable, upset. We could be angry. So many negative emotions that could be coming into play here. What's important at this point is to recognize that your emotions, negative emotions, are starting to take hold of you. Yeah? And this has physical effects on us too. So we may be eating less or more, we may not be sleeping well, we may find it difficult to relax or to settle in any way. Maybe we're being super active to try to deal with all this energy that's inside of us that's coming from the negative emotion. So how should we handle it? Well, the first thing to think about is to really give yourself some space to think about, increase your awareness. How do I really feel at the moment? What emotions am I experiencing and how are they showing themselves? Now you can do that for yourself by simply reflecting on it, taking a piece of paper and thinking and making notes, writing for yourself, or of course talking to someone else, having someone else to share with, to voice the things out loud that are going on in your head. Often just having that opportunity to talk and someone to listen who empathizes and understands, not tells you what to do about it yet. Then this is a way to help us make sense of those emotions, and so we start to move to the next stage. As we go into the resistance part, we're now starting to really think about those things that are concerning us. What are we afraid of, depressed about, anxious for, upset about? It's the cause of those emotions now. And these are specific things that we don't think are right, should not be happening, are affecting our normal day-to-day life. So if you didn't see our first Thrive, Not Just Survive session, which was using the circle of concern, this would be the perfect moment to also watch that video, because what that will do in this stage, this is the perfect moment to think about what those concerns are and what you can start to do about it. So what does this look like when we see it in others? How do we typically express it? Here can be things we're complaining about. They can be the simplest things, like I can no longer go to the gym every morning, or I can no longer go for a daily walk, or I don't have all my favorite foods in the house. I have these things that, but they're not the things I really like or want. So we're kind of unhappily complaining a little about the things that we don't like and we don't want. But they could be bigger things that we see some people, this is a typical phrase, they should not be able to do this. We should not have to stay home. We should be allowed to be able to go out and do, etc., etc. So we're pushing back, but we're still identifying those things that concern us, yeah? Those things that we're worried about. Again, what matters here in terms of what we do, list them, identify what those things are, and start to think about what can I do differently. So I say again, if you didn't watch our first video on the circle of concern, that guides you through a process that would help you to do exactly what we just described here. So it fits perfectly with this step. Now, as we start to think about and start to do some things a little differently, we begin to move upwards. So now we're starting to feel a little bit better. Most of those negative emotions have gone away. Our concerns may not be fully addressed yet, but we're taking some action, and that reduces some of those negative emotions. So here we're starting to try things. So for example, we might think, okay, let's see what kind of exercise I can do at home with no particular equipment. Let's look for new recipes, things I could make with the food I do have at home, that I could create new and interesting meals. Maybe let's read some of the books that I've not had time to get around to read. Maybe let's learn something that I haven't been able to learn before because I didn't have enough time. Let's spend more quality time as a family together, which again, maybe we didn't have enough time for that before. So we start now to see possible opportunities, possible benefits for us, and we're working towards that. We're not yet sure, will they really work? Will they be enough? But I'm trying. I'm starting to explore these things. And that means we also start to create some new habits. We're incorporating some of those things into our normal daily life, and slowly that starts to feel good. There's a new normal starting to take shape. And as we do that more and more, we're moving towards the final stage of commitment. And in this stage, it's become normal. So now we feel much more comfortable with how the day goes, with the things that we're doing, with how we're combining work with our family life, with whatever our concerns were and how we've decided to handle them. So we actually start to feel quite okay in this situation. A new normal has somehow taken over. What it also means when we get to this point is because we're now feeling better ourselves, more positive, a bit more empowered, we're in a better place to be able to help others. So once we get somewhere in this part, we're able to recognize more easily where others might still be and how we could volunteer to help and support them through those phases. But remember, you can't just move somebody from here to here or from here to here. Yeah? We have to go through. We have to go through the emotional part, the resisting part, because this is part of the process of how we come to decide to do new things, why we need that, and how that helps us move in this direction. What is also happening here as we go through this whole process is we're learning how to manage change in general. And when we are consciously aware of this, as new changes come along, we can intentionally move ourselves quite quickly through the process and get back to a better place much earlier in the process. And that helps us to better cope with any kinds of changes that happen in our life, at work, at home, anything. So, I hope you found today's session useful. I hope that you do take the time yourself to play the video once more, identify where are you and what do you need to do to help yourself move step by step through those phases. And as before, if you have others around you that you think could also benefit from understanding this, please do not hesitate to share with your own community. So it's been good seeing you again, and I look forward to the next time with our next Thrive, Not Just Survive mini workshop. So stay healthy, look after yourselves, and enjoy life. Bye for now.